Excitement and adventure are around every corner this summer at your library. Create your own literary wonderland at home. Immerse yourself in our never-ending online library. Learn new skills, explore virtual events, and connect with your community in a whole new way. Starting May 18th, the Prince George's County Memorial Library System and the Washington Nationals bring summer at your library to you. Hit a home run this summer and register today.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Reader's Advisory, Juvenile Fiction with Jan. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jan from the Prince George County Memorial Library System. Thank you for joining us for another virtual Reader's Advisory. I'm going to be talking about children's books, which when you go to our homepage, you'll be able to go to Overdrive and download the books for yourself so you can read them. Okay, so let me start with my first book. This one is called My One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams Garcia. This story won the Coretta Scott King Award and the Scott Odell Award for Historical Fiction. The book is set during the civil unrest in 1968. Delphine, 11, Bonetta, 9, and Fern, 7, fly out to see their mother, who left them 7 years ago to start a new life in California. While the girls hope to go to Disneyland and see Tinkerbell, the mother has other plans. She sends them to a day camp run by the Black Panthers. Unexpectedly, the sisters learn a lot about themselves, their family, and the country during one truly crazy summer. Okay, I really like that story. Okay, time for my next book. Let me show you that one. Okay, this book is called Here's Hank by Henry Winkler and Lynn Oliver, called Hurrah, My Butt Left the Bench. Hank, who is dyslexic, is always getting himself in trouble, though funny situations, and he does mean well. Join Hank and his friends as they try out for the basketball team, only to find out that he is the last one sitting on the bench, not picked for the school team. Well, Principal Love comes in and says the only person still on the stands can't be left out. And so he does join the team, but guess what his number is on his jersey? If you guess the unlucky number 13, you'd be correct. Since Hank is a substitute, will he actually get to play in the game? Download this book and see what happens. Okay, that was a very good story that I liked. Okay, now I'm going to go on to my next book. This one is called Restart by Gordon Corman. And it says, lose your memory, find your life. I just really like this book. I thought it was very funny. I'm going to read the first page of the first chapter, which is called Chase Ambrose. I remember falling. At least I think I do. Or maybe that's just because I know I fell. The grass is far away until it isn't anymore. So it screams, wait, it's me. I brace for impact, but it never comes. Instead, everything just stops. The sun goes out, the whole world around me disappears. I'm being shut down like a machine. Does this mean I'm dead? Blank. So, after waking up with amnesia, who is Chase Ambrose? Is he the top scorer for his school football team? Is he the bully everyone expects him to be? And what was he doing on the roof before he fell? Join Chase as he tries to figure out who he really is and who he wants to be. Okay. Okay, now on to my next story, which again I read and I love these books. I guess that's why I'm children's librarian. Okay. This one is called Ways to Make Sunshine. It's by Renee Watson, and Ms. Watson is a Coretta Scott King Award winning author. Ryan, who's actually a girl with a boy's name, well, she goes through some changes when her father loses his good paying job and takes a less paying job. Ryan thinks about so many things, like school and his self-image, especially when she has to think about what is her talent because a school talent show is coming up. No matter what Ryan does, she knows she wants to share sunshine with everyone she meets. So again, download this book to find out what Ryan's talent is. Okay. Alrighty, so now my next book is actually a series. It's called the series is called Ranger's Apprentice, and the first book here is The Ruins of Garlin by John Flanagan. In the past, the Rangers have scared Will and all the other villagers, and now he's been chosen to be a Ranger's apprentice. Now Will realizes Rangers don't practice magic as everyone thinks. He needs to learn the skill of battle and how to blend in to watch those people who are plotting to do bad things. So follow Will in this book and the rest of the series and see if he can make the grade as a ranger and help people. And I read again this whole series. I really liked it. Okay, on to my last book here. This is called The Forgotten Girl by India Hill Brown. R.L. Stein, author of the Goosebumps series, says, quoting here, "This ghost story gave me chill after chill. It will haunt you." End quote there. Iris and her best friend Daniel sneak out one cold night in the winter to play in the freshly fallen snow. Iris makes a perfect snow angel only to find out that she did it right on a crumbling grave of a girl named Avery Moore. After that, strange things start to happen, such as Iris seeing the ghostly image of a girl beckoning Iris to follow her. Both Iris and Daniel start to research the area for a school project. They find a neglected and forgotten cemetery for Black people, dating back to a time when Black and white people not only lived separately, but were buried separately. Follow Iris and Daniel to see if they can restore the cemetery and finally put Avery's spirit to rest. Okay, these next two books are what we here at the library call EFBs, or Easy First books. And they're for children who are just learning to read. Let me show you this first book. And I need to point some different things out about the books, these first two ones. This one, yes, it says level 1, step into reading. This book is called Pumpkin Day by Candace Ransom. And as you join a little boy and his family, as they go to a pumpkin patch to find the perfect autumn gourd for Halloween, you are going to notice that, yes, nice big picture, lots of white space, and very few words on the page. So again, this would be for someone who's really starting to feel comfortable with reading. And then the next big book that I want to point out, okay, this one, it also says level 1, different series called I Can Read. And this is Pinkalicious, and the title is called Dragon to the Rescue by Victoria Can. So as you join Pinkalicious and her friends to see if they can make it through the campfire party all night, maybe they can get some help from their dragon friend, Gertie. But as you go through this, you're going to notice still lots of lovely pictures, but there's more words on this one, which can get confusing to some people. But each publisher has their own idea of what's a level 1, what's a level 2, what's a level 3. So if you don't have a particular title, my suggestion is to always go over to that area of EFBs and look through them, and you'll find one that's just right for your child. And please always feel comfortable reading the books with your children. And if there's a word they don't understand or can't pronounce, you can help them out with it and help them understand the word. So my next book is what we call here in the juvenile fiction, or J fiction. And it is an easier book, though it's not obviously an easy first read. Let me show you the book. It's a series called The Buddy Files. And you can read these books in any order that you choose. This particular book is called The Case of the Fire Alarm by Dory Hillstad Butler. And as you join Buddy, who's a dog, who used to be a detective, who's now a therapy dog because he has new owners, human owners, called Connor and Mom, and he goes to their school. And therapy dogs help kids feel calm when they're easily upset. So the thing about this one, as you go along to see if you can figure out who committed the crime of pulling the fire alarm when there was no fire, not a good thing. As you read this book, you're going to notice that there's still a lot of white space with bigger print, and there still is drawings in this. And you're going to need to help Buddy figure out who committed the crime of pulling the fire alarm. Was it Jillian, Zach, Michael, or the ghost girl? So it's an easier book, but definitely a step up from the Easy First books. And then my next story is also a series titled Mia Mayhem. This is actually the second book in the series, entitled Learns to Fly by Kara West. And again, this is a story that you don't have to read in order to be able to understand what is going on. And there's a paragraph or two that I really like to point out. It says, during the day, I attend normal elementary school. But as soon as the school bell rings, I'm Mia Mayhem, the world's newest superhero. For real. Yours truly has superpowers. And guess what? I'm going to learn how to fly. So, Mia really wants to be a superhero like her mom and dad when they aren't leading their ordinary life as veterinarians. So as you read this story, you will see or find out if Mia's best friend, Eddie, and the school's superhero, most talented flyer, see if they can actually help her learn how to fly, get off the ground. Learning new things isn't always easy. I like this story because Mia keeps trying, and that's the important thing. The next story is called Better You Than Me by Jessica Brody. Have you ever thought to yourself that someone else's life is better than your own and you wish you could change places with them? Well, in this story, Ruby Riviera, who is a famous star with her own show, and Skylar Welchman, who wants to be cool and is Ruby's biggest fan, makes such a wish to be able to trade places. But as time goes on, they start to realize that being themselves isn't so bad after all. And as you read this story, you will find out, can they actually go back to being themselves? So let's read the story and find out. And I like this story because what it shows all of us, including myself as an adult, that being yourself is really important. You don't have to be like everybody else. You are perfect just the way you are. Okay, so this next story is called The Only Black Girls in Town by award-winning author Brandy Colbert. Alberta loves the beach and surfing. She's also the only Black girl in town for years now. Her best friend, Laramie, who is white, also loves the beach and surfing, but Laramie can't understand everything in Alberta's life. When the house across the street has new neighbors, Alberta is excited that the new owners are a Black family. Alberta is sure she and the daughter Edie will be fast friends soon. What about Laramie? So when Eddie finds an old box in the attic, she and Alberta discover secrets from the past, which have a historical information there, though this isn't per se an historical book. But as you read this story, you'll find out what Alberta and Edie find in the attic and see if Alberta, Edie, and Laramie can become best friends. So, on to my next story, which is called Rules for Stealing Stars. Sorry, let me share the story. Okay, it is by Corey Ann Haydu. And the magazine School Library Journal says this story is a well-crafted blend of realism and fantasy. Silly often feels left out as her three older sisters always leave her alone with their own secrets amongst themselves. When Silly is finally allowed into their world, she finds the truth more exciting than she ever imagined. The older sisters have found a magical world and hope they can find a way to deal with their complicated home life. But now, Silly is worried the dark magic will tear apart their family. So let's find out if the sisters can overcome the dark magic. Sounds kind of scary, but it's a good story. Okay, so my next story is called The List of Things That Will Not Change by award-winning author Rebecca Steed, and she won the award for When You Reach Me. After Bee's parents' divorce, her life becomes different in many ways. Her parents encourage her to keep a list of things that aren't going to change, like they will always love her. When Bee's father says he is marrying his boyfriend, Bee is excited to have a stepsister because she's an only child. As the wedding approaches, Bee learns that a new family brings many different emotions. When you read this story, you'll understand why the New York Times says this is an undeniably beautiful book. Again, that is a good story. Now, this next book is definitely what we call historical fiction. Like, some of the people are made up in the story, but this book takes place in 1986 during the upcoming and actual launch of the Space Shuttle Challenger. Cash, Fitch, and Bird Thomas are siblings in the 7th grade. Each has their own set of anxiety. Cash is on the danger of failing the 7th grade for the second time. Fitch has an explosive temper that he doesn't understand, and his twin sister Bird dreams of being NASA's first female shuttle commander, but feels like she is disappearing. Told in alternating points of view, by the end of the story you'll feel you understand each of the siblings better and why they are who they are. I like books that are told in alternating voices because, as I said, you start to realize more of who the characters really are. Okay, that's the last of my books for now. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Until next time.
Excitement and adventure are around every corner this summer at your library. Create your own literary wonderland at home. Immerse yourself in our never-ending online library. Learn new skills, explore virtual events, and connect with your community in a whole new way. Starting May 18th, the Prince George's County Memorial Library System